In this video, I will provide some basic information and an overview about how Word and Excel are the same as reality and how they are different. I decided to talk about the two platforms we use in class during the past few weeks. Concerning Word, I will mainly discuss Module 5 and 6, and for Excel, I will examine more deeply Module 4, 5, and 7. In order to illustrate what these chapters are discussing, I chose to point out the similarities and difference in their approach. And to do this, I interviewed my father, Mr. Jagra, who holds a position that I would like to have in the future, entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, it is essential to use Word to be more efficient and save time. Businesses are used to communicating often with their customer by sending invitation for an event, doing a follow-up after the purchase of a product, or making announcement of sales. Most of the time, the owners use the exact same message for all the reasons listed above. Therefore, in Module 6, we learn about the letter template for a mail merge, which can make their daily lives easier. Unfortunately, many entrepreneurs do not know that it exists, which was the case with my father. When I learned this specific aspect in class, I immediately showed it to him. A few days later, he tried it and he told me that he saved hours of time. Moreover, in Module 5, we saw that it can be practical to know how to format text as an hyperlink. Readers can have a reference to data by simply clicking on it. The user is given instant access to information that is discussed in the Word document. It is clearer, more concise, and meaningful for the recipient, which can have beneficial effects for the business, especially if the customer needs to choose between various companies. Also, in Module 5, we learned that managers should have a certain knowledge about how to convert a Word file into a PDF one. There are significant advantages of using PDF for the firm. One of them is that entrepreneurs are sure that their document format is maintained when the recipient opens the report. Thus, it does not cause any confusion or make the entrepreneur look bad to his or her clients. However, there are a few things in the Word module where theory is different from reality. First, as my father said, sometimes it could be not useful to change a style set. In Module 5, students of the PWSIMS programs had the opportunity to experiment with this aspect, and they observed that the document will probably look prettier, but most of the time the customers do not see the difference even though entrepreneurs spend their time creating and modifying a specific style. One of the main tools entrepreneurs use in their life is Excel. First, Mr. Jagra uses on a regular basis all the functions that Excel has given us, and we learn how to do that in Module 4. For example, on an average day, the sum function is used by employees and employers of Jagra Electric to avoid making mistakes in their calculation. Moreover, it is easier for customers to understand the calculation behind the numbers due to the fact that they can see which row or column the manager used to obtain the final result. Another component of Excel and Module 5 is the different charts that people can use to express and visualize information instead of presenting a series of numbers. A P chart is simple and easy to understand for the customers. It is uncomplicated to make a quick analysis only after a few seconds of looking at it. Also, as my father told me during our interview, customers want to identify information in a short time. Therefore, it could be useful to add a worksheet to the document. We experiment this aspect in Module 5 in Excel. The client will find exactly what he or she wants without having to look at every part of the file. Finally, an entrepreneur like Mr. Jagras should know how to import data, as we learn in Module 7. The reason entrepreneurs should have a certain comprehension of this aspect of the business is that managers only need to copy-paste the information instead of recopying all the words and numbers. The administrator has less of chance of making mistakes by avoiding duplicating by himself or herself data. There is one aspect that we learn in class that is less important. I consider that it is not as useful as other objectives that we learn in Module 5 to change the color tab of a worksheet. It makes it more pleasing in appearance and more visible, however, it does not have any positive impact on the business. In conclusion, it is impressive to see that an entrepreneur, in general, can apply many elements that we see in class. In the future, when we will enter the labor market, we will be able to put into practice what we learned during our studies. We have the opportunity to learn these things in our program. Therefore, it will help us later to avoid some errors that we could have made if we had not known how to avoid making them.